they do not care. Having these superstars on the stage, Kuro versus Puppey here in Kiev, it couldn't be any better.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, we have the greatest region in Dota world, Europe against Europe. I can't complain, and we can't be biased.
Absolutely not. You know, what's the internet going to say about this one? That is the question. Everyone by their keyboards ready to make some comments about this matchup, ready to see if NIGMA can bring it, take it to the level of Secret, or if Secret's going to be able to make this look like a walk in the park, something that a lot of the analysts have felt would be the case from the very beginning of this event. But NIGMA, they have shown some impressive plays. They've come in with a very sort of entertaining style of Dota 2. One of the brilliances of this grand finals being a best of 5 is we know that throughout these games, we maybe are going to see a bit of experimentation, and as I say already in this game 1, coming in with the Sven is something different, and it's something we're going to see here firsthand if it's able to work at the top level against a team like Team Secret.
AJ, big fan of this Necrophos parrot set I see.
That's very nice.
Zooming in.
And indeed, in terms of who's playing what, as expected, of course, Zai will be rolling on the Necrophos down on the bottom lane in this off-lane position, and we'll see how many heroes they feel needed to keep down here, because one of the sort of ways that NIGMA has been able to run away with games, it has been where Miracle's got that free farm in the safe lane, and he's been able to stay ahead for the whole match. We'll see how much sort of pressure Secret's able to put on him early on to make sure that this event doesn't just start spiraling out of control and farm in that sort of that initial 10 minutes after the laning stage that pushes NIGMA to that point where they can close up games early.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Sven has a built-in cleave, so he will have more farm than any other hero on the map, especially if they decide to make this attack. Zai already getting harassed in the bottom lane a lot.
Yes, straight in. As soon as he popped the death balls, just a little bit of a heal, a little bit of damage. NIGMA, they collapse onto him immediately. He'll get another heal out, but Zai, one more able to. He's got the Fairy Fire. He'll be fine. Now they'll turn towards Miracle. Miracle's actually taking a lot of damage for this attempt. He'll get back in, but Zai with the heal. The they'll do it. They'll get first blood. They will lose. Zai in return, but Kuro, he's down. Double kill for YapzOr. I mean, let's be honest. YapzOr
you do not want to give this guy a double kill at the start. Also, he got the solo XP for both of these kills, already level 2.5.
Yeah, so YapzOr's going to say, Zai, don't come back down here. You're going to go jungle. I'm taking this lane for myself. Top lane, Puppey will fall. NIGMA's able to run down the Snapfire. But a very exciting start already. Both side lanes kicking off. And yes, you mentioned it. You've got to keep your eye on YapzOr. YapzOr Rubik, he's had so many games where you had this sort of start, you give him a double kill, by the 10-minute mark, he's going to be walking around with 10 kills on the back.
Yeah, I want to see if he's going to go for Zero Special build. This game is extremely effective against all of these heroes. Chen, Io, plus Timbersaw. Zai, once again, getting harassed a lot.
Yeah, it's all part of YapzOr's plan. He's like, come on, Zai, can you know, they just give up your life, give me the solo lane. So, you know, YapzOr is, he knows what size level 1 Zai definitely is still rather vulnerable to these two heroes, so just have to watch out a little bit down here.
Oh, region for Nisha, that's a big one.
Very, very nice. Be able to get the free reset in the lane. How's the CS going so far? Very nice for Nisha, 10 for 3 against the 6 for 1, so already a decent beginning for the Morphling. And in terms of this 1v1 lane, how would you consider it to be expected to go? The Morph obviously has a greater time of hitting the creeps, but you do have to be careful. Once the levels are there in the puck, he can catch you off with the silence and burst you down.
Yeah, you just don't want to shift everything into Agi in this kind of a matchup. There's a high burst damage from Puck, no points in phase shift yet, but the thing is, he hits almost 2 times while you hit once, and that region actually helped him a lot. Will also be forced to bring more flash and tangos in that lane. GH dropping low.
Oh, they do have the Snapfire to keep up. GH is able to duke it out. Still, Matu gets the bash, but the regen's too much. He knows you cannot continue to attempt to go for GH. Stab will be cancelled by Puppey as he scatter blasts across the two of them.
They don't have the answer for this Timbersaw. The only hero who's good against him, at least after the laning stage. I mean, they have after the laning stage, don't get me wrong. You have Morphling who can turn into him. You have Rubik to steal his pure damage spells, but in the laning stage, once he gets level 3, level 5, you don't have anything against him.
Still, you know, keeping eyes on that mid lane. It's you know, Nisha is just, he is getting ahead by quite some CS. 17 for 9 against the 10 for 1. I mean, it really is just down to how comfortable you are on a Morphling, and I don't think there's anyone in the world that's more comfortable than Nisha on his Morph. He knows the exact numbers. He's never going to sit in a position where WeHard can burst him down, and with that in mind,
the cookie?
he can play with the regen and stay alive. See if Puppey can get in range. It will turn to trade towards Mind Control now, MATUMBAMAN. Mind Control Very, very tanky. Hard for them to really do much harassment on at all as he's able to stay aggressive. CS, very nice for him. 20 for 4, 11 for 1 and Matu definitely struggling against the pressure of this Timbersaw that's consistently in his face, thanks to the backup of GH's eye.
And you can't even try lane top. He's unkillable at the moment. If you want to get a kill, you should definitely try to go for Io because Mind Control is not dying here.
And Puppey is able to hide in the trees, start to heal back up as Mind Control does continue to hunt, see if he can cancel the south, but Puppey gets the full use out of it. He's back up to full HP. Still a decent amount of mana to play with Mind Control, so he'll take away immediately half of Puppey's health after the full heal. Just continue to cause a lot of problems for them on this top lane. It's still, you know, so Secret, I don't think they'll be too fussed about the side lanes, considering they know that in the mid lane, Nisha, free farm, free experience, this Morphling is having a perfect time. Bottom lane, NIGMA, able to dive in. Underneath the tower, Zai gets caught out. The first in the middle lane and jump from We Are, but there's the punish. The gank from YapzOr. He comes in towards the mid. One of the reasons why Zai did go down bottom, but totally worth it for Secret. They're making this lane even more of a nightmare for Weeheart.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Wondering who's gonna rotate mid. Like the only way you kill Morph, if you silence him before he can get his Morph off and the Timbersaw when he's level 6. Otherwise, I do not see him dying.
Well, yeah, sort of at all, right? Sort of down the line, it's not going to get easier to kill this Morph as the game goes on.
It's going to be really tough because they're limited on the catch and on the control. We saw Nisha playing against No One Shadowfin. He did a mistake. Like, he morphed everything into Agi, got too raised and just died. So he can make a mistake, don't get me wrong.
So far, so good for him, though. There's free farm for him. Of course, free farm still down on the bottom lane for Miracle, and those conclusions in the kills. He's going to try and go on Zai, but here's the back of GH. He can stand tall against the heals, gets the kill, and now turning towards maybe Puppey and YapzOr. Miracle will back off as GH starts to heal him back up. But Zai, I mean, again, this seems to all sort of be going to plan for Secret. It's sort of part of their recipe of winning, right? Zai dies quite a few times at the start and then wins the game, you know? I feel like if you're a team playing against Secret and you keep killing Zai, you kind of know yourselves. You're like, well, we're killing Zai, but what does that matter?
Yeah, every single team have been there killing Zai multiple times, and suddenly in the mid game, Zai just does some amazing stuff, better with a Blink or a Force Staff. His positioning in team fight is extremely good. Oh, we getting pressured on the mid lane, has Dream Coil to work with.
Being forced back, we'll have to take the wall back to base. No further regen on him, so more time where we is just unable to keep a check on Nisha. Nisha gets all the space in the world right now. Bottom lane, again, moving in aggressively onto Zai, using the God Strength. It's a lot of damage, but Zai will be able to keep his distance. Miracle won't be able to quite finish him off this time. Kuro and GH sticking around, allowing them to do a good job of taking this tower down very early. 7 minutes into the tier was nearly falling. They step forward once again to Zai. He's got the Ghost Form. Miracle is playing very confidently with his health and the heals, and he will manage to get the kill. Another kill onto Zai, down bottom. They'll see if they can get more as they run over towards YapzOr. Miracle's slow, but he knows with the sustain from GH he can play as aggressive as he is. YapzOr and Puppey will be forced back. They won't die. Or maybe, well, not yet. Miracle again. Charging in. YapzOr will stand strong underneath the tier 2. They won't be able to catch him out.
Another confident death by Zai. As expected, they got the tier 1 tower. There's a lot of damage once he pops that God Strength, the extra damage from Warcry and Alpha Wolf on top of that.
Oh, look at this Nisha, dodging the stun from Sven, just turning up against the three of them, trying to get a fight going. He sets up Kuro to be killed off by YapzOr's Fate Bolt. Miracle will charge towards the Rubik, and YapzOr, without any regen left, will fall in return, as they'll get the trade. But Nisha, he's still around here. He still knows how strong he is this morning. He'll continue to fight these two heroes. GH, he'll get himself away with a further tether. He will live, but already you're seeing how comfortable Nisha is. He knows exactly where to use his power, and at such an early time, 8 minutes in, he's trying to leave this mid to get things going elsewhere. Yeah. Overall though, 2k lead for NIGMA. One of the lanes we haven't thought about too much. This top lane does continue to just be free farm, soaked up by Mind Control's Timbersaw, and MATUMBAMAN's Void is having a slow start.
Puppey in a little bit of trouble. Where's the orb? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna hit. Oh, but this one will.
There we go.
4 points. I love that. Extremely effective against the Morphling, against the Necrolite and Faceless Void as well. You do not expect this kind of a long silence this early on.
Nisha. Let's turn
silent
into the park.
action.
Yeah, trying to catch up. We are quick for the face. He took him away, but Nisha reads the movement. He's on top of him. There's no spell
what a
left, but
play.
we are. Nisha, I mean, you know, it's sort of, you pick a puck against this guy. Sure, you're going to be able to pull off some plays against him, but Nisha is going to be ready to turn into the puck and pull off plays against you himself.
This is why I love this combo. Morphling plus Rubik. You have one good spell, well, you're gonna steal two of those.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of spell stealing that Secret can use to their advantage this game. Top, more aggression from Mind Control. He's sort of slowly and silently been sitting here on the top lane, getting stronger and stronger as the Timber. Secret will start to pull more resources into this area. They're going to relocate into dive for the easy kills. Mind Control will deal with Puppey. Puppey bounces away as he swallows on the cookie, but Mind Control's on top of him, slaps him down, gets the kill. Up in the tree line, YapzOr is surrounded. Miracle GH down. We will find themselves the second one. NIGMA coming to this area of the map where they know that they're at the strongest at this moment in time. Miracle will be brought back to the mid lane. Just a bit of a punch onto Nisha, knows that this isn't a kill they can get. So NIGMA, they realize what they can do. They know that Morphling cannot really be threatened right now. They're just trying to do their best to feed off of everyone else on Secret side.
Radiant's bottom tower.
The thing is, this NIGMA's lineup could easily just explode. Sven needs one item, Massive Madness, which will increase his farming abilities on top of 3 points in cleave already, and he's going for that crystal. This is the most efficient, cost-efficient item in the game right now.
Under attack.
Plus 45 damage for 2130 gold. And you know, that's before you account into the crit that you get as well. And what better hero to use it on, and you know, what better sort of timing to play with. You know how NIGMA likes to move. They're getting aggressive, diving in on the mid. There's going to be a TP in, top lane as well. Mind Control causing havoc for Zai. This is diving under the tower. Zai is not going to have any sort of backup coming into the rest of Secret. They've gone towards mid. Zai's going to try his best to run this one away. Mind Control, not enough mana to finish off the kill. Doesn't look like it.
Coil
Back
snap.
to midnight. Coils it in. Over they go. Matu doesn't get the chance to travel to drop a Chrono. Just lost to the void. NIGMA, they're turning up the heat. As two die on Secret. NIGMA, they're starting to get that momentum going the way that they've been winning many other games this land. And finally, up top, Mind Control will cut down Zai. He cannot get away. They are speeding things up. Only Nisha's Morph to hold some sort of strength right now in Secret's lineup. Zai and Matu, they are crumbling. They're falling further and further behind. And NIGMA, they're making it hurt for Secret.
All these pieces are coming together very quickly for NIGMA. You're gonna have a mech on Chen. Io's getting the items. Sven, once he gets that Crystalist, all it takes is one bad fight near the Roche pit. They're gonna get that Aegis, put it on the Sven. Even though he's not the greatest hero to have Aegis on, he's still the tower sieger for the team.
And with sort of the farm he has, even if he pops the God Strength and dies with the backup and buffering of the IO, he still hurts without the God Strength. You know, don't get me wrong, this hero is still strong considering how farmed he is this early on. This tier 2 taken Secret showing no interest in defending it. As 12 minutes in, NIGMA really starting to take control of Secret's half of the map.
Yeah, so far Team Secret took 0 towers. They need some pressure on the bottom, but the NIGMA is not stopping.
I'll see if they want to try and push up the high ground. It's only 12 minutes in, but NIGMA, they are going straight up. Secret has got to respond to this. TP back from YapzOr. They'll start to shoot them down. Start to the top of the Reaper side there, but I haven't got Miracle. He's back up to full.
Chrono,
the Mortimer's kisses. They continue to fly. Do they have the damage there? Secret has stolen stuns out. They burn down stuns. Pushing forward onto side. Stomps the two of them. They've lost 2 on NIGMA. Mind Control, Kuro and GX are doing their best to get out. The 2 supports will escape. As that coil holds them down at least enough to make sure that 3 of NIGMA will survive. The Secret, they come in, they formulate a defense, and it's a very successful one, knocking out 2 of NIGMA's cores.
Slow down there a bit. I mean, it's a minute 12. You don't need to hit the tier 3 towers. I think Sven still needs that item, and also getting a fight, getting the Roche for that Sven so you can do this kind of a Superman stuff is going to be necessary.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Yeah, you looked at the gold there. I think he must have only been like 100 gold away from the Crystalist, so he's effectively pushing in with 2k gold of his net worth in the bank. And early on at 13 minutes, that's a considerable amount of farm that you're trying to push without.
They did such a good job just baiting that the Reaper side. They know where the threat comes from, and they instantly go into Roche pit. They know there's no Chrono, there's no Reaper side, so they can take a fight. This is how they've been abusing lineups that have high cooldowns.
With that item now done, so last time that push was without the Crystalist. Now it comes with the crit and the Aegis. And you know that NIGMA, they are not going to be taking their foot off the pedal. As soon as this is picked up, they'll be charging down mid, looking for tier 2s, and very much likely to be looking to try again to break the high ground. We know that Chronosphere, that incredibly long 2-minute and 40-second cooldown. Still 1 minute after that previous defense up top until it is back.
Base Point does not have a single item. I mean, it's minute 14, but it feels like we're already 20-25 minutes in the game considering how fast the NIGMA is playing.
Optimization from Miracle after the Crystallis, straight for that BKB. Knows that there is little to anything they can do through that. Sure, there's still going to be a Chronosphere maybe to hold him down, waste some of the duration of it. But in regards to killing him through the BKB, it's pretty much impossible for Secret's lineup right now. If NIGMA can keep themselves grouped together. Secret's best bet to try and make sure that NIGMA don't get the waves and opportunity to push up to high ground once more. Continue to buy time for Nisha, whose farm still holds very closely to that of Miracle's Sven. Itemization, he is going to queue up and go for that E-Blade rush. He knows they have to have some sort of power to just instantly wipe heroes of NIGMA, get to the back lines, get rid of these supports that are providing so much sustain to NIGMA's cause.
Secret is very vulnerable at the point. 3k gold leads for NIGMA, and there's a 3 unspent gold.
He's going to find the setup. Here's the combo. Chrono into they've got to get rid of that IO, but GH still lives. The telekinesis is there from YapzOr. They separate the IO and knock him out of the fight. Miracle is going to try and continue to push on forward. He's surrounded by the 4 of them, and that's the Aegis gone. This was NIGMA's move with the Aegis, and they've already lost it. They need that. They need it now, Miracle. He's going to get it. We are just got the silence. He catches down Nisha off guard. He cannot start to morph. The morph is dead, and now they'll look towards MATUMBAMAN. He's into the trees and trying to hide, but Miracle and Weeha stay on top of him. The stun, have they gone further control? Another time walks there. Weeha won't be able to close the gap with the silence, as Matu will be able to sneak away in the trees.
Now it's time to go. They still have Mac. Chronosphere is on cooldown for the next 2 minutes. They don't need that God strength to actually take that fight. Crystallis will do the damage. A lot of attack speed from Mask of Madness and Overcharge. Time to go for that tier 3.
Yeah, they may have lost the Aegis, but for the ultimate fuse, that's totally worth it for NIGMA. They know that they have no reason to back off. Up they go. Tier 3 starting to take a beating. Secret, they'll have Nisha back in a few seconds for this hold. See how much they can slow it down. With an attempt on an initiate from Miracle, but they just go for him immediately. Will live, Reapers, they've got their heals. Keeps Miracle fine and above the threshold. He'll live. Dream Code down onto the 2 of them. Stops Secret from poking for more. Looks like NIGMA wants to go for a bit of a reset. They'll respect that Nisha's back in the game. They'll buy themselves some time to head elsewhere. There's still some free gold for them to clean up on the map. Tier 2s do still stand in that mid lane and bottom lane.
Yeah, they do not want to take another fight before Sven gets a BKB. They should respect more this offense. He's about to finish his E-Blade on combo from Reaper's side, and that shotgun also for the Chrono will be up. Matu doing a good job on the bottom lane, trying to get some gold for his team. And Puck denies the tower, sadly for them.
In the jungle. Coming out. A Miracle, Mind Control, and GH, they are ready to turn and fight. YapzOr, go for the quick focus first. Rubik is gone. Zai and Puppey have to go immediately back towards the high ground. They cannot try and find NIGMA outside the base, particularly when they are hero down. They'll get them out of there. They'll keep their distance. NIGMA's got the mid lane pushing in. They'll take another tier 2 tower. All of these towers pushing Miracle closer and closer towards the BKB. They need Nisha to hit those items. We'll find a good one. Does manage to pick up the Pupil's Gift on more. So adding additional stats to the potential combo is about to be unveiled. Few hundred gold and the E-Blade will be done. So now at least Secret, they can look to just delete one of the supports. Get rid of this Io, get rid of this Chen, so that there is that opportunity for the Reaper side plays to come in. Because so far, every single time Zai's gone for a target, there's been more than enough heals from NIGMA to keep their core safe.
Yeah, if he uses that Reaper side, there's going to be mech plus Chen ulti on top of Matt Wand. They need to cut in the backline, find this IO, find the Chen, because they're providing too much heal.
Try for Mind Control, but we are going to be in the counterplay. Gets the 3-man stun and stand the coil. Puppey's in trouble. He's trying his best to duke it out. The MATUMBAMAN comes in with the Chrono.
Get that IO.
Damage to get with the IO. The Hanago comes out. GH is still alive, finally falls. The They'll kill off the IO. He's gone for 30. Puppey buys back. He knows with the numbers advantage, so they've got to try and put this fight aside. He's in trouble. The cookie stage comes into play. Puppey will get side back up to the high ground. Buyback keeping that Necrophos alive. Puppey from the high ground.
There's the E-Blade.
Shoot out the monument. Nisha in with the E-Blade reveal. Goes towards Miracle. They cut him down. The spell is gone. And now they're going for mind control. NIGMA, they've lost two. They're going to lose a third. The bash is in play. Mind control will fall. As NIGMA lose a bit of a painful fight here. Secret's power starting to show. Nisha, he's played it smart. He played for this timing. Focused on getting the E-Blade done. And now Secret, they've got the resources to win these fights.
That's exactly what they needed. That shotgun. Sven still does not have a BKB, and they overextended there a little bit, not respecting the damage coming out from Team Secret. Also, Secret, they understand where the threat comes from, killing the IO first. I'm not sure if IO had the buyback there, but if he had it, I'm pretty sure that he would buy back.
Yeah, we dead for 30, and I mean, it must have just been the money. Was short and unable to get back in.
Oh, there's some also miscommunication, if I remember correctly. Chen was going for mech, and IO ended up going for one. Pretty sure I saw Buckler and Headrest, yeah.
Alright, yeah, a little bit of sort of money off the mark there. I mean, you can imagine NIGMA, there's definitely, evidently some sort of panic. They know that they cannot allow this game to slow down. If it slows down another sort of team fight or two, suddenly this morph's going to be in territory where Nisha can rule the entire fight. They've got to keep going, NIGMA.
There's the BKB.
Here we go. Looking towards Nisha. He's already shifted heavily into the strength. Is there any further control to kill this man? He's silenced. Miracle's coming in around the tree line. Nisha, how's he going to play his way out of this? Turns into the puck. He's got the orb to create a good amount of distance. Jumps level with the silence. Goes for the TP. There's no way to cancel it. Nisha outplays and escapes.
Very nicely done. Also, they should be worried about those stolen spells. They have Rubik, they have Necrolite, so any kind of a silence, any pure damage coming from the Timbersaw once the BKB's down on Sven on top of shotgun.
Relocate move comes into play. Zai was trying to silently push out the stop play. I don't know if there's any way he could escape this one. They brought the full 5-man in, and Zai
Kamikaze
may have got the wave pushed out. You know, he's managed to take a good amount of attention away from the base, but he'll lose his life for it. Still, this is sort of Zai things. No, this is absolutely no reason to sort of get too worried if you're a Zai fan out there. This is all part of his play.
He's buying time for his team. He understands that the Fist Void still needs more items to be efficient. Massive Madness plus the full Maelstrom finished on him. Also, there's a lot of heal on the Team Secret side. You have Necro, he already finished the mech. Also, Cookie, anything stolen from the Rubik as well, if you can get the Hand of God.
Yeah, a lot of counter plays potential, and then YapzOr, he's always going to be in position to find those steals, no doubt about it. NIGMA being a little more tentative about how they approach this high ground once more. That whole early push up top ending in a bit of a disaster, and then that fight around mid, it really has slowed things down for NIGMA. Suddenly this lead that they were starting to grow and get closer towards potentially, taking some of the base away, it's come back right back down.
Next Roche could be up pretty soon. That's what NIGMA is waiting. If they can play around Chrono, not lose anyone, or just have buyback on the target that they go for. So right now, GH should just stay for the buyback because he's going to be the primary target.
Yeah, they've got to make sure that he's ready with that second life. One of the sort of the age-old counters to these spells, such as Reaper's Scythe and Chronosphere.
Well, not the old Reaper's Scythe, where you could not buy back. Ice Frog, I'm looking at you.
Oh yeah, back in the day. Disabling buyback. It may come back one day.
How is that even in game? Like, how is that allowed?
I mean, it's... Yeah, you got to be honest though. It's very satisfying. You played a pub and you were playing Necrophos. It was the ultimate tilting tool. Taking someone out for a good 2.5 minutes and no counterplay at all.
Bottom tower is under
but of course, with the state of the game at the moment, there is that answer, and GH will be making sure that he's got the gold and he's ready to come in with those buyback relocate plays to keep fights going the way of NIGMA. If he does take sort of the whole brunt of the initiation from Secret.
NIGMA solo ganking mind control in mid lane, not very effective.
bit of a tickle between the two of them. I mean, Zai knows as long as he can sort of hold this wave at the same area that mind controls bring it to, it makes it harder and harder for NIGMA to start going towards those tier 3s again. KuroKy is watching from the sidelines. Starts getting bottom lane. A quick pick from Nisha and YapzOr as WeHi's grabbed and nuked down. Mid lane, Snapfire cookies to set up as they'll look towards the Timber Store. He is big, he is tanky. MATUMBAMAN's in the neighborhood. They can really try and go for this. They'll start looking for some badges. There's going to be a buyback from WeHi, in fact. They want to buy this. This isn't to Chrono and Reaper's side, so they do have ways
and already
to take
used
the fight secret. They're committing with the God Strength. Miracle. He's turning towards Zai. Will pop the Greaves. Goes form as well. He's living. And
buying time.
He's trying to poke them in. Instead of the MATUMBAMAN's coming with the Chrono. Now the BKB comes out. They'll commit with Sven onto Zai. Finally, they'll kill him. But they've used a lot. They've used buybacks, ultimates, BKBs just to kill Zai. They'll now find in the river Nisha.
He's gonna get the Morphball.
He didn't start shifting. He just said, kill me. He just snapped the coil and killed himself. He had ample time to start shifting. He was not silenced, but a rare misplay from Nisha.
Yeah, you rarely see mistakes like this on Nisha.
And he's gone for 40 seconds. He does not have buyback. NIGMA, you know, not necessarily the biggest of windows, but it is a window and opportunity to maybe try and get something done. Chronosphere is still up for MATUMBAMAN, so not necessarily a clear opening to take racks, but definitely a tier 3 to be back on the menu with this one out of the game.
Once they pick up bounties, he's going to have enough for buyback, but it's only 15 seconds left, and he has Glyph ready. Double damage to win.
Snapfire took the end. They've got Reaper's side path. They're going to heal self. Damage they do, but the Chronosphere comes through. They're focusing the IO. One of the skipper to take on the middle. But WeHi's in. Able to stop. Can they get GH in time? They cannot. GH will this. They'll kind of take it over towards the Timberman. Nisha waveforms across. Batu will time walk away in time. Miracle pops the BKB. Takes the tower. It's gone. As NIGMA, they'll take the tier 3, they're ready to bail out. They don't want to try and push their luck for anything more. They've lost mind control on the high ground. They'll just do their best to get out of it.
I thought this not gonna end up this well for Team NIGMA because it was such a nicely placed Chrono. They already used every single damage, but we controlling Snapfire in the back lines, one kiss.
Yeah, it was, I think, straight in, and the Yule Scepter just throwing Puppey up into the air and putting that whole combo to a finish. And without that, that would have absolutely been a dead iron. So, smart moves from WeHi to just constantly keep a read on the back lines of Secret. These additional items do connect the bottom link for Miracle. He has a completed AC. Will look to run down Zai on his own, committing the God Strength and trying to chase for this. The rest of NIGMA are heading up to connect him, but Zai, a little too elusive. Back in the river, WeHi, he's dead.
He has no buyback. They can run into Roche Pit right now.
They absolutely can, with no puck. The team fight from NIGMA has been heavily reduced. Into the pit they go. Nisha ready to sort of redeem himself after a bit of a slip up in the river. He'll go towards Roshan. He should be able to find this Aegis without any interruption from NIGMA, and if they do try and take this fight, it's not going to be easy. Secret, they've got full control around the pit. And with no puck, there just isn't the initiation that NIGMA requires to make an easy play here. Maybe they can still look to walk in and take things, but already on the side, mind control, nuked down by the combo. Nisha able to burst in with the E-Blade. This is now 2 cores down for NIGMA. More than enough space for Secret to reap the benefits of Roshan. Grab this Aegis on Nisha. And ready to look for more. They'll head towards the top lane. NIGMA, they're still out on the map. They've got to get out of here. Already trying to scout things out with the Mortimer's Kisses. They will manage to TP away before Matthew's able to get in and look for a lucky bash.
Any stolen spell from Timber, so extremely effective. Pure damage. YapzOr just keeping that chakram for Timber, so especially when he's on low cooldown. So there's another combo, chakram plus Reaper Sight on top of E-Blade.
Of course, with that being the second Roche as well, Nisha not only having the Aegis, he's going to keep the cheese in his backpack. So you've effectively got to go through this more 3 times if you want to put a stop to him. And Nisha, sort of for the most part of this game, it has been another top-tier Morphling performance. He played it smart at the start, he hit these item timings, and he has become this threat that NIGMA they're starting to panic about.
Talk about the perfect item, Craggy Coat on Necrophos. to mitigate that physical damage coming out from Sven. Foiled.
Only onto YapzOr though. A bit of a weak initiation from NIGMA as Zai just draws their attention away.
Please focus me, he says.
They'll kill it pretty quickly. Maybe they can get more. No, we have been burst. The Matsu. He found the perfect setup. The corner down to three of them. Do they have the damage to get rid of the island? They're focusing GH down. The hand is on Aaron. GH, he will live for now. Gets himself away. Nisha stays on top of them. The final range isn't enough. Another tether across. GH will live. Duking them out. Finally, Matsu finishes the kill. BKB in a time on to bring him back up to full HP. Miracle. He's going for the TP out.
There's the back.
There. They have the TP cancel as Miracle left behind. 3 down on NIGMA. Make that a 4. Secret. Run over the fight. It's the 3K lead now. And those hopes that NIGMA had early to close this game up around that 25-minute mark that they've always looked to do so in this tournament, it's really drifting away. Secret, they have the lead. And this game does not get any easier for NIGMA considering the draft that Secret's sporting.
The problem is, Puck died, so he can't keep them in place so Sven can actually deal the damage. Also, he does not have a clear target right now. Nisha, you do not want to focus this guy because he has 2 lives. I think someone popped his Caesar or he handed it to face the void to use it. Did not see it in the previous fight.
And here's the push. Nisha has the ball.
Face the void, yeah.
He should take this building pretty quickly. 20 seconds without Miracle. He's not wanting to use that buyback. He's holding on to it. Jump into the silence. Nisha's quick with the shift. It's so hard for them to really get something going now. Now that they're playing from behind, they'll go with the coil. But where is that follow-up? It snaps on with Nisha. They'll force him back safely. A cookie.
That's a level 50.
Back out.
Got some extra health restored from the cookie. Puppey, you can see him smiling. He's happy the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, definitely. Secret. Again, sort of all the pressure that NIGMA was trying to bring this whole game have now been the ones 30 minutes in to run down mid, take the first melee round of the game. As NIGMA, it's going to be so hard for them now to hold on. 10, 2, and 7 on Nisha's Morphling. This man ready to carry this game to victory for Secret. And NIGMA, their heroes, they don't offer any obvious answers to a late game morph.
They understand we need to try go all in. It could be Owen, if they just lose one more fight, they just call it because they understand their late game is really inferior to what he has.
He did. He found GH. Can they burst him inside? They're going to finish it off. The Mortimer's kisses are flying over to the distance. They've got damage. Over towards Ken they go. Nisha looks for the easier kill. Kuro's out of the fight. And now they continue to break down NIGMA one by one. BKB, top by MATUMBAMAN. They'll hold mind control off to the side. YapzOr and Matu pushing back the Miracle Sven. GH will go for the TP away, makes it out before anything's there to cancel it.
I love what Matu's doing. He's chasing Sven, trying to get a bash on him or force him to use either BKB or his ulti, and then they just back off. These 2 cores on Team Secret, very slippery, very hard to kill if there's no control coming out from Puck's silence.
And that is all the control. The Sven Stormhammer is such sort of a weak initiation tool with the travel time of it. There's so many counterplays that Secret can pull off in time. It's all on WePlay to make those jumps, and he just hasn't found the opportunity to make those sort of fight-defining jumps at this point of the game.
They were prioritizing farm on Timbersaw instead of Puck. He was like more doing stuff, moving around the map because Sven was taking a lot of farm, and we can see that in terms of network.
Just sort of a clean-up job now for Secret as they take away the final tier 2 towers. This bottom lane's gone. They still have the one up top to go for. They'll head back, and it will be Zai's mission to start shoving his lane all the way round.
Zai always on Mission Impossible.
So he's sort of like, he's a lone ranger, likes to play out alone. I mean, and this is sort of your standard successful Zai scoreboard. 210, I think probably at one point of the game is probably 1-8 and 1.
You forgot 8. That's the death number.
Yeah, you know, that's, the higher the death on Zai, the better he's playing. YapzOr is found. NIGMA finding an opportunity off the back of this smoke to start to pick apart the support. He's going to catch on the Puppey. Dream Call has been used, and this is sort of the problem. Matu's going to try
zoning Chrono
play, but GH, he's not messing around. He's going to ensure that Miracle is safe, takes him out immediately, worried about any sort of further follow-up from Secret. Is that just the Chrono gone? It's sort of a bit of a sigh of relief for NIGMA now that they can look to make these plays maybe once more if they've got the ability to get further smokes out, as that was successful in at least taking away one of Secret's members. Not a big one, of course, just to support YapzOr. The 3 cores are more than fine. That's where the real problem comes for NIGMA.
They're still in this game. Sven, if he finds a good pickup, but the kiting potential, that's what I'm afraid of. You have these 2 cores who are pretty hard to kill. You have a 4-staff, a Necro, also pretty hard to take down with all the items, also Craggy Coat for some extra armor.
Down lane, bottom.
Shortest timber chain in history.
Puppey. Stop taking quickly. As for yours control, buying time for the rest of the secret to come across here. We have to look like coming to the back line to keep this up. No way to keep this hold his ground. They'll try to see if they can get that kill. The Reaper Snipe won't be enough, but this bear is taking so much damage from Nisha. He's just moving on the morph. The right click hurts far too much for NIGMA to deal with right now. Secret, they just clean up with ease. Their lineup plays itself so much more nicely than the heroes that NIGMA have here. As every single engagement just seems to be impossible for NIGMA when Secret have the full fireman. Mind control, he's got no escape. This game is seeming to be in the books for Secret.
Once you get that Scotty, Sven is pretty much crippled, can't move in a team fight. And they're doing a good job now focusing the Sven. If they have eyes on Io, of course they're going to focus in, but Sven can easily go down as well.
This high ground is falling. This bottom lane's going. They've got the fortification secret. They see an opportunity to move mid and to continue the bloodshed over towards Kuro. He's glimmered, but Nisha has no mercy to spare. As there'll be a buyback from Miracle, but he's without his Timber Saw, his shed. Not that it feels like it matters at this point with how far NIGMA are behind. All they can do is sit back and watch Secret take out a full second set of barracks. Secret, they've just been masterful in the way. They knew exactly how NIGMA was going to want to play this game. They turned up with a draft that was very clear on the timings they wanted to work towards. Secret, they kept their cool. They made sure they lost nothing other than a tier 3 inside their own base. They brought the entire game for Nisha to get out as he does. He's so good at reading the positions. Whenever a team is trying to play as NIGMA is, going in with these 5-man pushes, Nisha always knows what areas of the map he can go to and make sure that his farm stays consistent with a team that's not only getting kills early, but also getting objectives. Nisha, he never falls far behind. They're
still respecting Team NIGMA, but they planted 2 nice observer boards to see any kind of movement coming out from NIGMA.
Coming straight back in, Matu.
They just wanted Chrono to be back online.
For Chrono to end this game. Kuro. He's out a little too far forward. Matu's going to jump in. He's caught Kuro. He's caught Miracle. Over they go to the stand. Can he get him out in time? He cannot. Miracle dead for over 2 minutes. That was the Chrono to end the game. Secret, they'll run down mid. The tier 4 will fall. Standing tall, holding them in the base, stealing the mangoes, killing off the edge, and trying to make oh, Nisha! Okay.
Killing himself, sorry about that one.
I don't know if this is going to matter, but Nisha does dive to the fountain. They are just focusing the base. I don't think NIGMA's going to be able to push them off, or are there stolen dream coil from YapzOr issues, catching out the 2 of them. Kro's going to be back up in 10. Zai's getting a little bit low. They do have to damage. Get the down Zai. Okay. Zai and Nisha buy back. Matu desperately just trying to finish this game. He says, boys, stop clowning around. This game is ours. I'm hitting the Ancient, but he's actually not going to be able to do it.
Morphling is coming. Needs 5 seconds to be back in the base.
Alright, Nisha, can he put an end to this? He can. We are gone. Over towards the Ancient they go once more. Another jump in. We hope he doesn't fight back, but the Ancient. Secret will clean up this game 1. CG is called.
You do not expect this kind of mistakes to happen from Team Secret, especially in the grand finals. They're a very disciplined team, but
yeah, a little bit clowning.
Yeah, they were. Nisha won that when he snapped the coil without using the morph, now dying on the fountain, but still in the end they won the game.
Yeah, sort of every other aspect of that game was just another clear victory for Secret. They knew exactly how to play against the strategy that NIGMA's been so strong with, and that's got to be a worry, right, for Team NIGMA. You've come into this match, you strategized in the way that's been working for you up to this point. It's not sort of, it hasn't cut it here in this game 1 against Secret. Sure, you're probably going to look as NIGMA at saying, well, this Sven draft, we tried something different. Sure, Miracle was still able to hit the timings, yeah, but he was still hitting the timings on a Sven. This hero fundamentally isn't one of the strongest carries by far right now.
Still, NIGMA looks very strong. It's the same way, this playstyle that they were playing throughout this tournament, at least the last 3 days.